Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Ambulance Oversight Committee meeting on August 14th at 9 a.m. We will call the meeting to order. Our first agenda item is, I know we haven't met for like a really long time, and obviously this is a new virtual thing for us again, so we'll just try to get through as best that we can. Is there any announcements from the group today? Okay, hearing none. Now this is going to seem like we're going way back, but we don't have record of approving the November 8th minutes from 2019. So Lori did include that in your packet of information that was sent out. So if those that are on could review those minutes, and then if we could have a motion for approval.
This is Tim. I move to approve.
Okay, is there a second?
This is Nikki. I'll second.
Thank you. And then we also have the February 14th minutes from 2020 that we would need to approve as well. If I could get a motion for that.
So moved. This is Tim.
Thank you, Tim. Can I get a second?
I'll second Ross Renner.
Thank you, Ross. All right, moving on. All those in favor of approving those minutes, say aye, please.
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, I think I will turn it over to the FM group for the data review, response time, and transport. And this should have all come out in the email as well from Lori.
Good morning, Jason from FM here. So the packets included, got your 6 months of data since we did not have that last quarterly meeting. Really the biggest thing that's in the data is, our call volumes in April really plummeted, presumably due to the COVID shutdown. They had bounced back into May, June, and July. As you see, we had record months in both of those, or all three of those months as far as the volumes. Transport, top 5 reasons, they really stay in those same or top 10 reasons really for calls, so not transported, but all patients, whether transported or not. We see a lot of the same thing across those 6 months: abdominal pain, alcohol use, psych, chest pain, weakness, and just general pain or seizures is really the common theme throughout all 6 of those months. Transport destinations stay in the same kind of percentiles, and patient decision as far as being that number one thing. Typically, we don't see much deviation from that. In the response time end of the world, this is a high-level summary for the 6 months. Our low was 94.63, our high was up in the 97s. So despite these record months for volumes, response times has set well above that 90% goal. So that's the high-level overview. If you would like anything more granular answered, I'd be happy to entertain that.
So has dealing with the COVID and stuff and the 2 health systems, has there been any logistical challenges with that, or it is still kind of based on patient choice and past history, that type of thing?
Yeah, we made no changes there as far as that. As far as 911 type patients, they would, 911 patients, they're always asked where they want to go. So unless a patient's unresponsive and can't make that decision, where they would typically go to the closest, they've gone to either facility.
during COVID, when we had our department's operations center up, we did work with both Stanford and Essentia on running some tabletop drills to make sure that we would be able to meet their needs as well if we needed to transfer patients in or out based on specific COVID needs and things like that. Those seem to go pretty well.
So with the, I know that Stanford is getting patients from Western North Dakota right now with overflow for COVID. Do they transport, or who transports those people, the place they're coming from?
It's the burden of determining who does the transport is the referring facility.
Okay.
We have flown to quite a few of them with AirMed. The ICU level patients for sure, the ones that are intubated and pretty sick have been flown. But any ambulance can do those transfers, and usually the local ambulance does that.
And that'd be consistent with what we see with contact tracing efforts. There are a lot that come as we have a specific COVID unit at the Broadway campus downtown with expansion plans as necessary. But we see a lot of people coming in from those western areas. They're coming in by as long as they're stable and non-critical, they're coming in by those ground services. We're not going out from here and bringing a lot in. They're coming from their originating service, if you will.
And Dr. Anderson, I see that you're on. Has Essentia been getting any overflow from anywhere as well around the area?
Not that I know of, okay. But that's I would only know of the shifts that I've worked clinically. They may have gotten some when I haven't been working. Yeah,
I didn't know if there's other places where Essentia has headquarters that are higher on their COVID numbers, or if it was just the Western North Dakota thing going on. So, all right, any questions for the group on the data response times or transports?
Just a quick question, just because I'm new to this. What causes all the cancellations?
Well, fortunately, a lot of your officers, Ross.
Well,
we have
that's
seen.
Why I'm asking.
What was that?
That's why I'm asking to see what we can do to help with that. That's a high number.
No, actually, this is actually a good thing. We've always had a pretty significant number. Canceled is what we do when there is no patient contact. So if we go for a possible fire or a man down and then we're not able to locate anyone or something like that, that would end up being a canceled call. But we saw a huge uptick in those after we started implementing the Columbia suicide severity rating. It looks like your officers are canceling us before we get our canceled numbers went up and our psych numbers went down slightly. So that makes me think that you guys are handling them or referring them to mobile mental health or those kinds of things. And we're getting canceled and not having to transport.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yes,
Very
yes.
good.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions for the FM ambulance group? Okay, but a couple of things that we're just, we took this over from the fire department probably within the last year. So we're just trying to get some of our stuff in order. So we printed out the our oversight committee members. So we just wanted to make sure that we have, I know sometimes within organizations, people might switch out that role. So we just want to make sure that we have everybody on, that we're on the correct listing. So obviously we have the mayor for the city of Fargo. We have Sherm down for Sanford Health. We have Vicki down for Essentia Health. We have Juliana Lindgren for the VA, myself for public health, Heidi Lako we have down, and of course we have her written twice, so we're probably going to combine that. We have her as being obviously our health officer, and then she's obviously the medical director for FM as well. We have Chief Dirksen. Craig, I assume you're just sitting in for the day?
That's correct.
Okay. And then Tim Meyer. Is there...
Oh, sorry, this is Vicki. Could Essentia add Toby Jezzard? She is the Director of Emergency Services also, please.
And Lori, I don't know what I know we have people that attend that aren't like official members as well. So there may be something where we have to look at the logistics of that, and we can have Toby on as an extended list, but maybe not an official member. I think that there might be some ordinance things in that we have to consider.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. The other thing that I wanted to bring up, we also looked at, and we've been having this discussion off and on, is how often we have the meetings. You know, historically, these meetings have been fairly short, so usually around that 15-minute mark. So we're wondering if, then there really is no hard and fast rule in ordinance about it. So wondering what the group feels about if we did a twice a year actual meeting, and then we could send out emails quarterly, just so that you still got all of the data to look at. And then we could, you know, have questions emailing as a group if we needed to, but any thoughts on that? And then if we did twice a year, what would be the really good months to have those meetings? I know that we've had the discussion with the FM before. There's better times of the year when their data is out and ready, and so we would want to consider that for when we're meeting as well. But any thoughts from the group?
Yeah, as far as the data thing, I don't know that it matters for me if we're still moving that quarterly. That's really the onus of the, you know, prepping for the meeting. So whatever quarter we decide to meet, that would, it doesn't matter to me here as far as getting the data with that.
I know at one time, I think we had thrown out like January and July for the actual meeting portion of it. And I don't think the in-betweens, I don't know that it has to be the full data set or whatever, just, you know, if it was just even updates. Or doesn't that help?
I think when the January, July was thrown out, that was like the thinking there was just that it was half of the calendar year. You know, as far as running that, we're going to still run it quarterly. That doesn't change it. So I would support that.
Do an end of the year recap in January.
Yeah.
Okay. Would
even though I can't officially move that, I'd let somebody bring that up.
So, if any of our official members would be willing to make a motion to support that, then we could put that on the table.
I'll make a motion.
Thanks, Dr. Lako. Is there a second to that?
This is Vicki. I'll second.
Thank you, Vicki. Okay, any other updates that anyone has?
I actually have a question. So if we move toward a twice a year meeting schedule, if there are issues that come up in between, would there be a mechanism to get the group together to meet prior to a meeting?
Yes, I think we could pull. I think if we are finding that that's not sufficient and doesn't meet the needs of the group, I think we can alter that at any time.
And just to be clear, we're fine with however the group wants to do it from FM Ambulance. We want to be transparent and make sure the community feels comfortable with the performance of the ambulance.
Thank you. And so we will see, obviously we have projected that our next meeting was going to be November 13th, but we will probably be obviously switching that up so we can make any necessary changes to the schedule and then get out, we'll try to put out like the year so that everyone can get that on their calendars. So we're all ready for that. I have no idea if we will be in person or if we'll be like this, but we'll just be flexible with that.
Does that
and go from there.
Does that need to be voted on, or is it just you're just asking for the advice on that?
For the meeting schedule?
Yeah, I mean to change it from 4 to 2. Do you have a motion?
Yeah, Dr. Lako made the motion and Vicky seconded that.
Right.
To,
I just
to
want
go
to
oh, yeah, we got to vote on it. Thank you. You guys are helping me stay in line with my non-formal meeting skills. So yes, all those in favor of changing the meeting to twice a year, signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Any other issues to discuss today?
Desi, just to clarify, if we're going to that January and July schedule, I think it's, what is it, the second Friday? Right, yeah. So it's always been the second Friday of, February or whatever. Would that be the same intent with January and July, do the second Friday?
Would that be the preference? I think we would be open to, if that's what we're used to on the schedule, that I think that works fine.
I don't remember if it's in ordinance or if it was just what the group had decided before, but there was something before about data being in by the 10th or by the 15th of the month was the date. We usually have that in ahead of time because that date falls ahead of time. So we're fine with whatever is at the front.
We can double check it again, but like I said, when we looked into the ordinance stuff the first time, there really isn't a lot of language in there, but we will put that out. So I assume it would either be the second or the third, depending on what we would find out. So. All right, if there's no other discussion, if I could get a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Term.
And thanks. And a second.
Second.
This is Craig. I'll second it.
Everybody wants to second. Thanks all. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. Thanks everybody so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your day.